Good morning, guys. It's Nick at Optima PS. I hope you're all well. My apologies, I've been missing for a while. You probably noticed, or maybe you didn't, I'm not sure, but hopefully you did. The real world got in the way. A couple of things with my real job, my real life have got in the way. A family member's been here, and I've had a couple of problems to sort out. So on the one side, I apologise for that. On the other side, I'll be honest as well, I normally show my face when I think you guys need some support and a little bit of a little bit of a reminder that things aren't so bad with the world. We've been going through a very, very, very big bear market for a long time, and I think I bring more value there saying don't panic, hold on, it's all going to be fine. When we get to days like these last couple of weeks where everything is wonderful and rosy in the world, I don't think you need me so much. So that's another reason I've not necessarily felt the need to jump on, because I think everything's going swimmingly right now, right? I think everyone's pleased with their portfolios. Okay, we've had a bit of a stagnant week in the XRP world, but it's a stagnant week in the XRP world. It's not actually been a hugely negative week in the XRP world, even though it is basically a market pullback during the early stages of a bull run. Before we get into all that, as ever, you know me by now, my name's Nick, I am a financial advisor, but I'm absolutely not your financial advisor. I don't know anything about your details, so I couldn't possibly give you any financial advice but bad financial advice. So anything I say or do today is absolutely not to be taken as financial advice at all. It's just a guy sharing his opinion on the internet in the hope that it brings you some value. So where are we in the world? Well, we're in a good position, right? The world is moving in the ways we want it to move. Okay, there's a little bit of red on here today, but that's normal in what is very much the early stages of a bull market. Everything's gone up swimmingly, and then just the last week or so there's been a bit of a pullback. But we've got Bitcoin at over $100,000. This is the first time I've ever done a video with you guys where I can say that Bitcoin is over $100,000. Just think about that. I haven't kept my Bitcoin. I've used Bitcoin as a tool to grow some value, to sell on and move into other things. At first, I just thought it was a bit of a game. I bought some, I watched it go up, I think I almost 10x'd my money. It wasn't quite that, and I sold out. But it wasn't much money in the first place. I made a couple of $1,000 from less than a couple $100, and I was really, really pleased with myself. But Bitcoin being over $100,000 is super important for the entire industry, isn't it, for the sector? If you have any coin at all, you should be interested in what Bitcoin does. And right now, Bitcoin is doing very well. Where will it end? I don't know. Some of the analysts that are better at that side of things than me think 150, some think 200. In the long term, people think $1 million plus. I don't know is the honest answer. Personally, anywhere from about 120 onwards, I'd start paying more attention to the charts, to what people are doing, to what people are saying. But in the same respect, I think we've got a good space left. I think we've got a good margin left before we have to start thinking about selling in there. Ethereum 3877. Ethereum is on a push towards an all-time high now. I think we all saw a certain president-elect put some money into Ethereum. Whether that's true or not, I didn't delve into the story in deep enough detail. But when the story's there's no smoke without fire, right? He's obviously shown interest in these things. It's going to be good. XRP $2.41. People have been a little bit disappointed with XRP in the last couple of weeks, and I don't get it. It's $2.41. What's wrong with you guys? It's $2.41 for an XRP. Okay, there's some people out there that think it's going to go to $2,400 in the next month. They're wrong, by the way, but they believe that. They've listened to the wrong influencer, or they bought into things. See, I don't have a major problem with those influencers, because at least they get us in. There's a lot of people that wouldn't have bought if it wasn't for the BS of some of those guys. So at least they got them in to make realistic, wonderful, wonderful profits. You'll make more money in crypto than you will in any other sector of global investment, but you won't make 1,000,000,000% in a month. You just won't. Or 1,000,000,000%. I think the biggest ever was the Shiba Inu made about a couple of $1,000,000%, but that was on the back of some extremely rare circumstances. They gave half the supply to Vitalik and he burnt it all, basically. So immediately the coin went bonkers with the news and things like that. But that's probably never ever going to happen again, right? That's a once in a lifetime thing. I didn't buy that either. I do hold a little bit of SHIB now because I like the community, but I didn't have it for that run, unfortunately. Because there was nothing until the day before that told anyone it was a good thing to buy. It was baby Dodge, basically. But anyway, going back to where we are, so you've got XRP at $2.41. I mean, I'll give you this as a great example, guys. People are disappointed with where it is at the moment because it's come off ever so slightly. The biggest drop you ever see in a crypto bear market is about 80%, give or take. There are extenuating circumstances that might mean the odd coin goes bust completely, or the odd coin loses a bit more than that from peak to trough. But if you aim at 80% being the biggest you're likely to see, that takes us down to about 47 cents, give or take. Well, 2.44, 48 cents, give or take. We can deal with that, right? I mean, my average buy-in is below that. Only just my average buy-in is about the mid to high 40s now. I don't keep it a perfect count of it. I've got, obviously, I bought on different exchanges. Some exchanges tell me what my average buy is, some don't. But I'm pretty confident that my average buy is, in fact, I'm certain my average buy is below that. And so I can look at this market now and I'm playing with house money. You know, quite simply, we're never ever likely to fall to the point that I will be in the red personally for my own personal investment again. That's a lovely position to be in. It's quite liberating because you then look at it and you don't really care what happens next. Of course, I want to make as much money as possible. That's what we're all in this for, right? So of course I care, but in the same respect, I've never put money into this that I need to take out. I probably will take some out. I think it's a sensible thing to do. I've been umming and ahhing with this decision for a long time, but when money starts to look like serious levels of money, you change your mind about how frugal and liberal you're going to be with that. I think that all markets go in cycles. Even though I think there's a chance utility enters at this point, I think this will go down in history as the tipping point, where utility became interested and started putting the pieces in place to get involved. Now, you could argue with me that they've been interested for 10 years and the pieces have been slowly put into place. Yes, they have. But I mean the tipping point where we go from those few forward-thinking companies to everybody. I mean the tipping point where banks don't talk about one day we may start tokenizing assets to them beginning to tokenize assets. We've already seen elements of that on the XRPL already. There was talk the other day, I even forget who the company was in the article, about tokenizing US treasuries. We've seen companies like Archax talk about tokenizing everything. They've already began with bits of gold and with other sort of government bonds and things like this, fixed deposits. Like, things are beginning to be the earliest of early days, the tiniest of tiny green shoots. If this was a forest we're talking about, then we've just seen the tiniest green shoot sprout out of the ground. We are not at the tipping point where anyone ought to be thinking this is too big to see another bear market cycle going along with global liquidity. We just are yet. So again, I don't need to take my money out. I've never thought of it in that way. I think the sensible thing will be to cash into stablecoins and to then wait until the market is right to buy back in again. I don't think I'll come out of this bull market with enough to retire. I think I'll come out of it far, far wealthier than I went in, which is a lovely position to be in. But it won't be enough for me to retire. And I don't want to retire. I love my job. I love what I do. But it will be probably enough to give me a serious headache and a serious level of thought that I do not want to see that amount of money, which, you know, is the equivalent of a few years' salary, turn into 6 months' salary and regret it. And what if something happens 3 years from now and I really needed some? So I'm probably going to take some out and be the sensible guy. I'm going to take my own financial advice, is probably the best way to put it, because I was in grave danger of going against my financial advice that I would give to every other human being on this planet. And that's just a stupid thing to do, right? Why be the asshole that doesn't take the sensible approach when you're telling everyone else to take it? So that's where I think I'm going to be. And again, I'm happy that if we fall from $2.41 by 80%, we're going to get down to 48 cents, which is still below my average buy-in. I've made it. We've made it. Anyone that's been buying the dip through from 2021 downwards and up again, I suspect you're in a very similar position to me. Anyone that was in earlier than that, then maybe not so much. You're probably just back into profits now. I think if you look at XRP, the vast majority of purchasers are now in profit again, which is a lovely place to be because it was a hard slog, wasn't it? So, I think we're in that position where we can all be happy with what we've got today. And by the way, I think we're still capable of 5 to 10x from today if we don't see any major bonkers moves when it comes to global adoption. If we just see this play out as a normal crypto bull run, I think we could still be aiming 5 to 10x. 10x would be a lovely position to be in, guys. People are talking about $100, $500, great. Don't get me wrong, I want $5 million per XRP as well. 25 bucks, 17 bucks, 15 bucks, 10 bucks. Hey, $7.50. It's a fantastic position to be in. So the only way is positive from here. Again, and if I do round trip, if I don't time the markets right, I don't pull out in time and I round trip it, I'm okay. Because even at the worst point, if we hit $10, then we fall 80%. We're still at $2 and I'm still 4x, 5x on my average investment in. I'm over the moon at that. I haven't been buying since we went above 60 cents. Again, I will do at some point in the future. I'll probably cash out. I'll let it crash down to $2 or $3 and I'll start buying again because $3 will be the new 30 cents. But at the moment, I don't think $3 represents a significant growth potential to me personally compared to what I already have in. And I've got other things to do with my money, right? There's some things I've neglected the last couple of years. I normally pay down mortgages. I normally invest in normal stock markets. I've seen this opportunity as being such a huge potential one. I've neglected the other things I normally do. I normally buy some REIT investments that pay nice dividends, things like this. So I want to, I've wanted to sort of angle back that way for a while. So my next job for the next 6 months is to almost ignore the crypto now, except for set my alarms for where I think we're going to start topping out. Follow the technical analysis guys who know better than me, who will tell me when they think we're going to top out. That's what I'm doing with my crypto bag now. And I hope that makes sense to you all. It's something I just think makes sense because where we are in the world, there's always going to be a top. I mean, if you look at every major stock, if you look at oil, no one's going to tell me oil is a volatile sector. It sometimes goes up and down, but the whole world is desperate for oil energy, right? We all drive cars. Yes, our buddy Elon with his electric vehicles and other people following suit now will make a dent in that. But for the foreseeable short to medium term future, the next 10 to 30 years, we're all reliant on oil. Oil should be a constant, and yet the price goes up and down. Oil should be a constant, and yet global economies, global economic circumstances have an impact. The price goes up if it's going to be harder to get it out. The price goes down if there's too much of it lying around. Oil goes up and down. Oil doesn't escape these cycles. We aren't going to escape the cycles in crypto because, trust me, it's not as big a market as global oil right now. So we have to be realistic with that. Let's take a look at what's going on in the world. Let's take a look at what people are saying. I've already been yapping on for 30 minutes and I normally try and keep it short. It's been a while though. I've not spoken to you guys for a while, so I don't mind going in a bit more. So again, the great Chad Steingreiber. You guys will probably know him by now. I refer to this guy a lot. I like his work. He's a great researcher. Sometimes people think he's a bit too bullish towards XRP, a bit too biased towards XRP. That's because he believes in it, right? I'm biased towards XRP too. But he's come on here and he's basically talking about the official wallet list release for RLUSD. If you've been living under a rock for a while, RLUSD is Ripple's stablecoin. The general consensus is it's going to bring vast liquidity to the XRP ledger. The result of that should drive the price of XRP upwards. We hope. No one will be able to tell you that for certain. You can see what USDC did for Circle. You can see what USDT did for Bitcoin. There's things out there that point in that direction. I personally have done videos on this in the past. Look them up if you want to watch. I think stablecoins are the reason the governments around the world will allow this thing to go. I was always fearful that the big banks back the governments and the governments therefore favour the big banks, and the big banks saw the entire crypto sector as a huge potential liability, if not just a thorn in its side, a hindrance to profits. Stable coins will save the US dollar. I know that sounds crazy. I've done a whole video on it, but the use of stablecoin keeps fiat money relevant because they're backed to the US dollar. 99 point something percent of stablecoins are backed to USD. The USD is under attack from the BRICS and other things. People moving away from it because they're sick of the government weaponizing it, as they like to say. Whether that's true or not is not my business. I don't really care. Even if it was true, I'm kind of on the US side anyway, so I don't necessarily think it's such a bad thing. Normally they put sanctions on the bad guys, right? I know you can argue good guys and bad guys. It depends which side of the fence you sit on. But you go around invading other countries and someone sanctions you, I think that's probably a good thing. But anyway, going off topic, let's get back to the topic. I think that stablecoins will end up being a huge, huge advantage to governments. They will keep fiat currency relevant. For every RLUSD you buy, they have to buy a stablecoin to balance the books, right? So we are still using US dollars, just in a different way. So all those BRICS companies or countries can give them back. That's okay. Stablecoins will gobble them up. It will keep the US economy ticking over. It will keep the treasury bonds where they need to be. It's a good thing in general. Ripple's one I feel will be the best, just because I have so much faith in the company. Tether, I think we all know, is under scrutiny, to probably put it mildly. I don't think you will see Tether being allowed to operate within the EU. I think the US, when regulations come, will follow suit. There's a slight argument there that the US economy is reliant upon Tether, so I think it will be a more organised retreat from the use case there. But I think the days of Tether being the biggest stablecoin are over. It's not quite a traditional stablecoin. If you wanted to dig into it, look into it, go and do your own research, but it's not backed purely by one currency, USD. There's bits, there's Bitcoin in there, there's all sorts of things in there, so it's not a traditional stablecoin. Although it's kept itself quite stable, they've run it quite well so far. But in the same respect, it's something that I feel the world will move away from, or at least new money into crypto will naturally gravitate towards some of the others. And I hope that Ripple with RLUSD will get the lion's share of that. They won't get it all. No one gets it all. Even me personally, if I retreat into stablecoins when I think we're at the top of the market, I won't use just one. I think that's foolish even itself. You know, we all remember what's happened to Terra Luna, to other things. You know, putting all your eggs in one basket doesn't make sense, no matter how confident you are in that basket, no matter how regulated that basket would be. So there's that. But in the grand scheme of things, this is going to be huge. If we take a look down, they're already jumping on the bandwagon, right? There's more than this. There's going to be lots and lots and lots of people jumping in on this bandwagon. Moving through, the great Barry C. Everyone new on this channel knows I love Barry. Go and follow his channel. He's got a channel on here on YouTube. Follow him on X as well. He's a great guy. He gives me my morning dose of hopium when I'm not feeling as sort of cheery as I might be. What does Barry say? I'm buying more XRP. The absolute panic when XRP started skyrocketing in November, and outside the enthusiasm and excitement from the XRP army, the main sentiment was, I didn't buy enough XRP. Or is this a good time to buy XRP? This is a unique opportunity to accumulate some XRP before it starts skyrocketing again, before the price for XRP skyrockets to $5, $7, $10. Barry thinks it will go much higher than that, by the way. When you follow him, he thinks eventually we'll see it get up into the 50s to 100s. I agree. I don't know what the time horizon is on that. We all have our own theories on that. I think that's probably waiting for next bull run, personally. I'll be delighted to be wrong, of course. It's not about the market cycle, actually. It's about the pieces falling into place, the ducks falling in a row. And I work deeper in the financial sector, and I know how long these things take sometimes. Just because a bank says it's going to do it doesn't mean it can do it tomorrow morning. They have to have board meetings and decide they're going to do it. Then they have to have meetings with regulators to see if they can do it. There's legal letters backwards and forwards. They have to speak with insurers. They have to cover their asses in every single way possible. There's no way they can be ready to do this by March, and I think they'd need to be ready to do some of these things by March, or in fact probably all of these things by March to drive us up to $50 to $100, but I definitely think we're getting there one day. And again, it's good to see differing views. Like I've already told you, I haven't bought since 60 cents, and I probably won't. I will do once we hit 10 cents, and then I see 2 cents as a bargain. Barry's absolutely right here. If 2 cents is going to be a bargain 2 years, 3 years from now, why is it not a bargain today? It's all about time horizon and what you need to do with your cash. In the meantime, everyone's different. We're all on our own journey. But he's absolutely right. If $2 is going to be a bargain 5 years from now, an even bigger bargain 10 years from now, an even bigger one 20 years from now, then it's obviously a bargain today, isn't it? It's just about whether or not you put, fortune in or small amounts in. We're going to see $2 move upwards. No two ways about it. A good friend of mine reached out to me the other day just to say, listen, I'm interested in putting a bit into crypto. He's never been in the market before. He's a smart guy. He's a financial guy, but he's never been in crypto. He just said, I see you rambling on about this XRP one and a few other things. What should I do? Am I too late? Have I missed the boat? Absolutely not. You've missed the boat I'm on. That's a different boat. I began earlier, which means if you want to see profits like me, you'll have to wait 6-7 years like me. But you haven't missed the boat. You haven't missed the only boat to take the journey. I think crypto's got 3 more big cycles, and I think each cycle gets smaller. But I think we've got, as in for the amount of the margin of growth, but I think we've got 3 more cycles left before crypto gets too big to be traditionally cyclical. And when I say too big, I don't mean it won't see cycles. We'll see cycles more similar to the S&P 500, as opposed to these ridiculous potential growth bursts we see at the moment. But has he missed the boat? Absolutely not, no. So he's jumped in, he's bought what he thinks is a nice portfolio. We have had a little chat about it. Shout out to you. I won't say your name because I'm not sure if you want people to know you're in the market, but you know who I'm talking about. And yeah, we're in this position where it's never too late for anyone. And I think that me buying XRP from, 18 cents to 30 cents was an absolute bargain. And, I think actually all the way up to 60 cents was an absolute bargain. But for me, they were my bargain coins. I know some people who got in so early, they think that was expensive. And they got a damn sight more than me because they got in so early. They got hundreds of thousands of coins for less money than I got, tens of thousands of coins. It's one of those things. It's all about timing. And in the future, people will be talking about me. Oh my goodness, you managed to buy at 18 cents. You managed to buy it. Your average was 48 cents, 44 cents. Wow, amazing. By then, my average will probably be higher too. Your average was $2. Crazy. This is the world we're in. Look at the stock price of Tesla right now. I remember telling somebody $50 was expensive, and I was right. $50 was expensive. It went down from there, but then it came back again. Everything is relative. Moving through. So this is Crypto Insights UK, sharing a chart for Credible Crypto. 2 great chart analysts, but this is Credible side of it. I'll come off so you know what I mean. It was Crypto Insights post, but he's sharing this one for Credible Crypto. And if we just jump in here, so what you've got here is you've got Credible going, and for non-traders you just need to zoom out a little so you don't forget the big picture. This is his chart. We're in a bit of a bull flag here. He thinks we're going up. I mean, Cred thinks we're going right up, in fact. He's got us there pointing towards $22. I'd be happy with $22, guys. I don't know if we'll get there. These guys, they're always the first to tell you this is what we think is going to happen based on lots and lots of experience and knowledge, but that doesn't mean it's going to happen. That's what they'll say. No one can predict the future. We just use the charts to give a good indication of what we should expect. If we can expect $22, I'll be over the moon. Some people still think that's low. They think it's going higher. Some people think that's too high. Again, I think if we get to the $20 mark, the charts will begin to tell us. Public interest will begin to tell us. The indicators that the good technical analysis guys use will begin to tell us. They told us when we were at the bottom. These guys historically have predicted tops and bottoms pretty accurately. Not perfectly. No one gets it absolutely perfect, but pretty damn accurately. I listen a lot to Moon Lambo on here, and he always says a really good comment. He says, when all of these technical analysts start to say the same thing, you can be pretty confident they're right. Quite often there's some people out there who like XRP, who like Bitcoin, who like Tether, who like Ethereum, whatever it is they like. There's people out there who have their own baby projects. They dislike other projects, so they often disagree. But when they all sort of get in a circle and say, we're seeing the same thing here, this is pointing up, they tend to be right. they'll be right the other way. They'll all be in that same circle saying we see things going downwards from here. They might not get the exact day, but that's what I rely on, because those guys know what they're doing more than me. And I think we'll see signs of that. So am I going to only start paying attention at $22? No, absolutely not. I'm going to listen all the way through. I'm going to keep, as I do every morning, I wake up, I open my phone, I see what the US side has said last night, because I'm over in Asia. I see what the European side has said last night, because I'm this side of the world. We get to see people's thoughts from the night before. I'm kind of a day ahead. And I wait throughout the day. I look again in the evening, see what people said today, and it's something I'll always pay attention to. I do it with other markets as well, not just crypto. It's a great indicator when all these good, let's say world-class technical analysis guys start saying the same thing. Jumping through, this is a post from Molly Elmore. Again, I love Molly Elmore. She works over with the Val Hill Capital guys. If you're not familiar with them, give them a follow on X. They come out with some sensational information. But she's just shared something from Wall Street Bets, which says, while Tether is getting ghosted left, right and centre, Ripple just snagged approval for its USD-backed stablecoin RLUSD. Anyways, long XRP is good for the soul. Scroll down, we've got Smoke Dog. Again, one of the best researchers on X if you don't know him. Ripple is focused on serving the needs of banks and financial institutions, with a bullseye there. To align with this focus, it's decided to adopt ISO 20022 compatibility over time. By integrating this standard, Ripple ensures it can work seamlessly with banks and institutions. That already use it. ISO adoption equals XRP adoption. This is why Ripple and XRP have a high value proposition compared to non-ISO compliant platforms. He then gives you some information. Guys, this guy is sensational when it comes to research, so if you don't follow him, give him a follow. Again, going back to what I was saying about the technical analysis guys, when everyone is doing their research, their due diligence and saying the same thing, I tend to believe it. Sometimes because it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy even, but more so because, all roads lead to Rome. If everything is pointing in the same direction, there's a very strong chance we're going to see things flow in that direction. Finally, we've got Charting Guy, and this is a little bit of negativity for you. Not negativity at all, that's not right. Reality is probably the best one. So I saw this the other day and it resonated with me. It's actually affected my own personal thoughts on how much I take and that as well. So always listen to other people. If you're in a sound tunnel of people saying it's great, it's never come down, you'll believe it and you'll be stung in the ass. So what he said is, I've seen many comments like these. Stop falling for the super cycle narrative, real world adoption bullshit, please. People say the same thing every cycle and we always have a bear market. If you make life-changing gains in the coming months and don't take profit, you are stupid AF in my opinion. He's obviously Apple, Meta, Google, etc. all got adopted hard for decades, but guess what? They still went through nasty bear markets. Utility and adoption cannot escape the cyclical nature of these coins. Do not fall for all that BS. Cycles don't break until 28 to 2030. Dream on. I'm not even sure if cycles break in 28, 2030. What he's referring to there is this post from someone that says this bull run will be different. One factor that's different from the other bull runs is institutional investors. They buy and hold for long term. So I see this utility token run going on for years now. Wrong. Don't get me wrong, I believe there is an element of truth behind that. The utility run for itself will go on for years now, meaning this sector will be more and more utilized. The utility focused coins will see more and more adoption, but that doesn't mean we escape the cycles. That doesn't mean when the whole world goes down, there's this one little green flag called XRP or, called utility coins, one little green sector popping up. They'll still go down. That might be an opportunity for these institutions that are going to adopt the utility side of things to buy in cheap and stack their bags. It probably will. So they'll let it go down. Why would they not? Why would they not let it go down? Why would anyone in the world buy something for more money than less if they can help it? They'll let it go down. They'll buy back in when the price is right for them. The cycles are here. So if you're someone who sat there with, I'm guessing 10,000 coins, thinking I'm holding out till I've got $10 million a cycle, I think you're in for a kick in the nose. If you're someone who doesn't need that money, well, close your eyes if you like. You know, we all see these great wallets that open up on Whale Alert. Some blokes opened a wallet, some ladies opened a wallet from 2013 that, you know, they stuck $400 in and now it's worth $14 million or something like that. It's great to see. And if you're someone who has the financial well-being to close your eyes for the next, 10 years, good for you. Still not the most prudent thing to do. You'd still be better selling and buying back in cheap. But if you just want to close your eyes and go for it, good for you. That's what I thought I might do for a while, but I've got a few reasons why not now. I'm gonna change my approach and take some profits off the table. But in the same respect, it's unlikely that anything on earth only ever goes up and up and up. It never goes in a straight line. It never does. You know, Tesla's had pullbacks. Apple's had pullbacks. Apple had big pullbacks for a long time. People even worried about whether the company was going to make it. You know, all these things happen. If you have enough belief in the coin, there will be opportunities to buy at a pullback. Now, the next pullback we might see it go to $22 and only pull back to $5 and then wish I'd bought it $2.42 today. But then $5 will be a huge bargain because I'll be confident we'll go back above $22 again in the future. So it's just about knowing where you stand with this, guys. Listen, it's 31 minutes. I've been yapping on for a long time already. I hope that was helpful. I hope that brought a little bit of a different side to the thought cycle. Moral of today's video is I think we're at the tipping point of the new financial world. I don't think we're at the point where the banks are all flooding in this week. I think it will be a longer run. I think that's probably for the next bull run, the next liquidity cycle, really. I certainly think they're going to be buying all the way through and been getting into the sector all the way through. I certainly think that. But I don't think that we're in a position where you will see $500 a coin, an XRP coin, this cycle. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if you don't like me for that. I apologise. If I'm wrong, well, I was going to say I'll buy you a beer. Hey, you can buy me a beer because you'll be sat there with a bag full of $500 XRP and I'll sold out. So, and I'll be over the moon for you, by the way. But if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I think realistically, the top analyst guys think between 10 on the conservative side and $50 on the high side. I think they're right. I do think we might see $100 XRP within the next 4 or 5 years. I do. I think there'll still be cycles. I don't think we'll see as big a dip this time because the lawsuit should be gone. All the big problems on XRP should be gone. But I think the crypto market's still going to go through cycles. So anyway, guys, I've been yapping on far too long. Thank you for listening. Thanks for hearing me out. If you like the video, please punch that like button, give me a subscribe, share my channel on social media. I really do appreciate it. Tell my friends to come and watch. That's always helpful. I promise I'll be back online a little bit more moving forwards as well. I just had a few things to sort out. And again, I don't think you need me when the world's all rosy. I bring more to the table when there's a few question marks. So here we are. Thanks very much. Once again, I've been Nick, Optima PS. I'm really grateful for your time. Have a great week ahead. Thanks, guys. Oh, and I forgot to say, stay classy, crypto.